But in complete contrast to his behavior in front of his audience, Nia's post would tell a disturbing story of SVB, singling the 16-year-old out in a team coaching session, complimenting her, and then asking for a topless photo. Shortly after Nia's post, SVB would be made aware of the accusations against him on stream.
This is crazy, guys. This is actually crazy. It's crazy. People are faking screenshots about me. What did I ever do to anyone of this kind that they would... What? There's just no way.
However, despite the YouTuber denying the allegations, people would still be convinced of his guilt.
I'm watching person after person call me disgusting, a vile animal, a pig, someone that should be extricated from the Overwatch community, a vile groomer. I watch my reputation be dragged through the mud, I think would be an understatement.
The internet was about to burn SVB at the stake, but just 2 hours later, GG's everyone, this was all a fake and I am Nia. Just wanted to prove how easy it is to cancel someone and how cringe this community is. Nia would turn out to be a 14-year-old boy whose entire story was nothing but an elaborate lie, quickly changing public sentiment toward SVB. Despite his name being ultimately cleared, the incident took a toll on SVB and he would take a month-long break from his channel. However, while SVB's accuser confessed to lying, Quite would not get that luxury. On February 22nd, 2023, a trans man going by the name of Orion would accuse faceless YouTuber Quite of transphobia, gaslighting, and rape. These accusations shook the internet, sharply conflicting with Quite's reputation as an entertaining and authentic commentator.
I asked you guys what the lower half of my body should look like. I actually decided to just make it another hoodie for some of that good old symmetry.
In his post, Orion would explain that he and Quite had an extremely toxic friendship and on and off relationship since 2017, with Quite regularly gaslighting him and ultimately graping him in the backseat of his own car. This enraged a lot of people, prompting hashtag Quite as a grapist, with tweets like, "Isn't it ironic how the gay furry comes out as a grapist? Quite, enjoy your last few hours on this platform before you delete everything and run away from everything." However, just half a month later, Quite would address the accusations in a 90-minute video where he was forced to reveal his face against his wishes.
This is my response to several allegations made against me, the most serious of which being that I sexually assaulted a former friend and ex-partner of mine named Orion in Orlando, Florida on February 18, 2018. This clip is of Orion describing the same day the assault allegedly took place in a video 4.5 years ago, where he has a very different account of how he felt about that day.
It was fun, and I distinctly remember him getting out of my car, but stopping midway and saying, "Just remember, I really care about you," and then closing the door, which made me feel really good.
Throughout the entire video, that clip is taken from a testimony given much closer to when the assault allegedly took place. The topic of sexual or romantic activity between me and Orion is not mentioned a single time.
Quite would then go on to describe what actually happened between the two, and shockingly, the abuse may have occurred the other way around. Quite and Orion were in a shopping center when Quite saw a plushie he wanted to buy for himself.
In response, Orion said something to the effect of, "Okay, I'll let you buy it if you give me a kiss later." This was a weirdly identical mirror to a similar situation that happened over text the day before. Later that day, though, Orion and I are in the driver's seat and passenger seat of his car, respectively, when the topic of the kiss comes up again. Despite my hesitance, I did kiss Orion once. That's it. That's all we ever did. Immediately after, I was feeling weird about it. I wasn't exactly enthusiastic about the event in the first place, and I didn't want to go any further with it, so we didn't. Not only did I never have sex with him, I have never had sex with anyone. Even as of recording this video, I am still a virgin.
After that massive revelation, Quite would finally address Orion's claims of intentional dead naming.
But in every message I've sent to Orion on Discord, Skype, through text, or Twitter that I can still get my hands on, all of which you can look through yourself, you will not find a single instance of me A, ever misgendering Orion at any point, or B, referring to him by a name other than Orion.
But even after clearing his name beyond a shadow of a doubt, the situation would still be really hard on Quite.
My abuser has managed to make a permanent mark on me in a way he's only gotten to do it private before, but now gets to share with the public.
In the end, Orion would only be on the receiving end of public hate for a week before deleting his account. Quite himself would take a 5-month break from his channel, but fortunately return, unlike Slazo, who was forced to abandon his channel entirely. On June 10th, 2019, the commentary YouTuber's ex-girlfriend, Shy, would accuse him of being controlling and verbally and sexually abusive, shocking fans of the YouTuber's awkward but humorous on-screen persona. Shy's post would paint Slazo as an sexually demanding boyfriend who would become aggressive anytime she tried to refuse him and treat her as nothing more than an S object. With this, the Slazo hate began to pour in. Slazo is a piece of ish. Slazo is a big old grapist who has nothing to say for himself. There would be no response from Slazo except claiming that there was a lot more to the situation and that some of Shy's statements were straight up false. This prompted Shy to double down, posting another twit longer just 2 days later where she would point out that Slazo did not deny his actions or the claims. 18 days after the accusations first came out, Slazo revealed his side of the story.
Trey says that I got touchy-feely in a park and I was making unwanted advances while she was crying and asking me to stop. This makes me sound like a monster, and if it did happen, I would be a monster. But this isn't how it happened. What did happen was this was a very awkward but mutual situation, where she describes I moved her hands to touch me. She did that of her own volition, and she even mentions this in Discord messages from after we met up in person.
Addressing Shy's claim that he touched her on her first date despite her discomfort, Slazo said,
"We went into the cinema, we had our first kiss, our teeth hit each other's, neither of us knew what we were doing, and I was willing to call it quits there, when she pulls my hand down and says to touch her, which is a pretty long way from how she portrays it in her version of the story. In fact, she was actually the one who brought up the entire idea of doing anything in the cinema. She also mentions later in the post that she's never been in a relationship before. This isn't the impression that I was under. I was under the impression, from these screenshots here, that she's had at least 2 boyfriends and 1 girlfriend before we ever met. So I'm not sure why she would say this.
Shortly after, Shai would be revealed to be part of a conspiracy to remove Slazo from the commentary community, a mission she unfortunately ultimately succeeded in when the YouTuber abandoned his channel on December 17th, 2020. However, as tragic as Slazo's situation is, it's not the worst out of all people on this list. On December 1st, 2020, YouTube commentator Turkey Tom would post a video accusing fellow commentator Pyrocynical of knowingly a 15-year-old. These accusations came a month after Twitter user Ivory Rasmus alleged that 19-year-old Pyrocynical used to exchange NSFW messages with him back when he was 15. But with Pyrocynical's popularity and down-to-earth nature, many of his fans immediately assumed these allegations to be false. It wouldn't be until Turkey Tom's video that public opinion towards Pyrocynical would begin to rapidly decline. Man, Pyrocynical almost certainly being a at this point is so effing disappointing, forcing him to address the situation on camera 18 days later.
Let me be very clear. I had absolutely no idea that he was 15. Ivory himself did not disclose to me directly that he was 15, and the evidence itself supports this.